Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there, welcome back.
Welcome back, guys. Make sure you subscribe to all three channels, or if you're watching on Brighteon, Bitchute, and Rumble, those are options too. Some people follow us on Ko-Fi and some exclusively on Patreon. So, let's just start with this. Pope Francis declares Klaus Schwab more important than Jesus Christ. Anybody who still believes Pope Francis is a man of Christ and God's representative on earth is either delusional or in denial or both. Yeah, and again, it doesn't surprise me. Klaus Schwab is the way, the truth, and the life. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
No surprises here either.
Okay, guys. Yeah, I mean, honestly, when you do look at these are two up at the very top of the human food chain, so to speak, but they're still puppets. Nothing but puppets.
Indeed, for sure.
So thank you guys for your support over on Patreon. Thank you, Susan, our newest Patreon. I think we did have about 6 or 7 Patreons today. Thank you guys so much. So tomorrow is the day of the eclipse, the Ring of Fire eclipse. Oh ho ho. So this is what you're looking at. You know, it's going to come in Oregon, and it's going to go out in Texas. And, you know, it's the second of third. The last one actually goes kind of along the St. Lawrence River and then goes back down again through Texas. Boy, have we had rapid change. And it just seems like it's speeding up. So, you know, depending on where you're at, I'll put the link in there and see what you can see. We will definitely be under the path, and we will notice the change. There's a lot of change going on. This is in Times Square. As you can see, after taking over Times Square in New York City, pro-Palestine protesters rapidly marching towards the Israeli consulate. The protest taking place after Hamas chief Khaled Mashal called for that global day of jihad. Man, what a day it has been. This one is recent. An Israeli military reported that an aircraft carrying 50 soldiers was hit by a missile. Everybody on board was killed. And here we see 3 convoys carrying Palestinians who were getting evacuated towards southern Gaza were hit by airstrikes today, killing at least 70 people. This is a massive caravan of people going through the Egyptian desert, heading towards Gaza with supplies for people that are suffering in Gaza. You know, there are people out there that really are trying to be the peacemakers and are trying to save lives. Blessed be the peacemakers, right? Beatitudes were absolutely my mom's favorite part of the Bible, as she was a Catholic. Today we did a video on Heart's Home talking about Fatima, and also talking about a video we did a year ago about the true final prophecy of Fatima, and we linked both of those over there, so I hope you guys will check that out on Heart's Home.
It was a very nice one.
Yeah, for a little bit more of the lighter side of things. Hamas claims to have shot down an F-16 plane over the Gaza Strip. We really shouldn't be surprised at this point in time. As you see, they are using anti-aircraft defense systems called Matbar 1. And so, you know, what you have is a very well-supplied Hamas. Also, there are reports that Hezbollah is officially joining the fight. As they have been getting fired on in southern Syria by Israel. You know, you would almost think that Netanyahu is seriously either counting on divine intervention or trying to bring about total destruction when you think about what's going on, because in the past, Israel has acted with indifference and, you know, would basically not just do an eye for an eye, but 20 eyes for one eye or 200 eyes for one eye. This is different because, again, this is the part of, revolutionary change in power. As you see Iraq, And there's tons of people there supporting Palestine. In fact, you have reports of Iraq mobilizing, and I saw reports saying 20,000 soldiers were on their way already. Iran mobilizing, Hezbollah, as we were talking about, Lebanon. Everywhere you look, there's a mobilization underway. And this is in Jerusalem, as you see people rushing towards the Temple Mount. And it shouldn't be so. Sometimes I wonder, why is it so hard for people to see how all this is so manufactured? But again, it's our indoctrination as children, really, and that indoctrination continues through adulthood. Chaos in Rome, as you see, the call for Islamic Jihad. Here you see police in Rome beating back Hamas supporters. Still you have thousands and thousands of migrants entering across NATO borders all over the globe. It's just increasing. This is entitled Cultural Enrichment in Sweden. In other words, that Aleph, the sign, or the A for anarchy sign that the three eclipses make, well, we can see it playing out.
I know, and it's, not too far off from making its full picture.
Yeah, this is still not it. This is still the beginning. And we have to be very, very careful. As I saw comments. I still see comments where people say, "Oh, clickbait, you're just doing it for ad revenue." And it's like, no, we're doing it trying to save lives. Here you have an Israeli embassy employee was attacked and stabbed in broad daylight in Beijing on Global Day of Jihad. And again, Evolutionary hasn't made any ad revenue in over 4 years, but we're still doing videos because it's not about the ad revenue. It's about trying to change and trying to wake up people to the system. Here you have radicals screaming Allahu Akbar, and they are attacking and stabbing a high school teacher to death in front of students. This was in Arras, France. This was brutal. I'll give you guys the links. I didn't want to play it, but yeah, I'll give you guys the links. The U.S. government declares North Korea is selling weapons and ammunition to Russia. Well, again, it should be just obvious, of course. This is going to be a war that's going to involve dozens and dozens of nations. That's, basically, I guess that is the definition of a world war. It involves a lot of people.
I think so. Yep, they got it down.
Meanwhile, New York State Supreme Court has upheld the ruling that struck down the plague upon the land dates for men for health workers. So Governor Hochul, no, like that. I wish we could say, hey, bye-bye to the entire system. We will. That's part of the Fatima prophecy. Meanwhile, over in Peru, you have another young lady that's screaming as she was attacked by what they say are aliens. The pelicaras, the ones that peel people's faces off. The video shows her screaming in pain. There's been a series of events going on in Brazil as well. Peru and Brazil. Curious, is it not? It is curious. And again, Cindy picked up that this is kind of a rogue group.
It is, and there's a really kind of horrible type of energy to it. A really snaky, sleazy type of energy where these beings, there's two energies. I'm a little bit confused about them, but I'll tell you guys. It feels like there's government involvement, but only on certain levels. But then it also feels like these beings are not exactly getting everything they want. So they are doing things to bend other rules. So there's like this two-way type of energy going on, and neither way is nice, and innocent people are suffering, and that it's just not the way life should be. I do hope we can help turn this around for so many.
Absolutely, and this is a reported UFO over the area. Most of the UFOs that are seen are our stuff. Most, not all though, not every single one. And even though they're ours and they are manned by our military personnel, often, probably more often than most people realize, the military personnel are accompanied by non-humanoid beings.
They are, to come to that realization and understanding is a little bit difficult because we're not programmed to accept that at all. We're programmed to reject that. But there's an overshadowing of these beings that occurs, and not just in an etheric realm, but they can do it in a physical way too. It's not a pretty picture to have these guys around.
No, absolutely. And so this is open-minded approach. And just talking about something terrible that happened in this one particular area, so many of the areas that are deserts now weren't deserts. And the climate does always change. It will change naturally, but then it will also be changed through artificial interference. And yes, there have been what we have called and others have called the wars of the gods. Those wars took place mostly in the Bronze Age. And in the Bronze Age, many people saw these things happen over their heads with technologies that were mind-blowing. And this is why they thought they were gods when they were never gods. They were just extraterrestrials. And yes, we're talking about extraterrestrials and interdimensional beings. And again, there's so many misconceptions in this world. And those misconceptions all come really, so many, I can't say all, but so many of those misconceptions are coming from, let's see, where was that? It was back even farther. It was the first one. Yeah, the Vatican. The church. When you get down to it, many people believe the earth was flat. Many people believe that the sun revolves around the earth. Many people believe that we are alone. There's just us. There's demons. There's angels. There's God. That's it. No, that's never been the case. Never been the case. And again, why would we trust somebody that thinks Klaus Schwab is the way, the truth, and the life? Again, why would we trust the church? Why would we trust an organization that is richer than many nations out there that could stop poverty in one in a day, that could feed so many people, but yet they hoard the wealth? Again, Pope John Paul II was a salesman for the company that sold the Zyklon B to the Nazis. Hello! This is what you're believing when we believe the mainstream. This is the mainstream media. Of course, we can't trust that. We can never trust that. And that's part of the big reveal. And many people are awakening again. And one of the things that's interesting was when you look at all the people trying to push the, ouch, for, the, they are met with so many comments telling them where to stick that ouch, that do you think we're crazy? How foolish do you think we are? And that's why we have this war scenario going on, because they're losing control. And when we look to the history, we see massive wars where they gain control and then again they lose control. It's part of the cycle of the yugas. And yeah, I've felt in Arizona, Winslow, south of Winslow, there is a quote-unquote asteroid crater. The feeling of devastation and dread and sudden death coming from above was overwhelming to me. I had to actually ask Cindy to drive the car because it was hitting me so intensely. I was feeling the energy that the people felt when they were just doing their thing, and all of a sudden the next thing they know, they're out of body.
And with all of this chaos, with all of these disruptions, take a break and just look at this guy, get a good dose of cuteness overload, enjoy nature every chance you get, because it's nature that's going to finally bring about that separation of energies and bring us happiness and peace and cute squirrels and flowers.
Absolutely. So yes, this is everything that we see is them trying to hang on for every last day they could possibly hang on to. But, their time is absolutely limited, and they know it, so they are desperate. So hang on there, stay prepared, stay out of the way of harm. Again, I would strongly, I shouldn't speak for anybody but myself, but I would strongly recommend to, try to get outside the cities as best you can, because that's where most of the chaos is going to be focused on. And just be as prepared as you can possibly be. We just got in more water filters. This is like our fourth or fifth filtration system, because again, you could live without food for quite a while, or with very little food, but water is a different story. So food, water, basics, again, don't forget your pets, and just stay prepared. Source bless and namaste.
Namaste.